What's up guys, this is Goki on the Timelord with my brother's updated Plant Frog Synchro deck. Enjoy.
Hello. So, yeah, this is the updated version of the Plant Frogs. It's been one of my favorite decks to play, and I can definitely see myself taking it through a lot more formats to come. And there's definitely a lot of stuff that can probably be done to it to make it better, but this is what I have done to it right now. So if you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments, anything that would help the deck out. Yeah, just basically any constructive criticism. And yeah, so here's the version for the September 2013 format that will start in a few days, and I'm looking forward to this format a lot, and I'm looking forward to playing this deck even more. So yeah, start it off. We got the Frog Engine. So for a Frog Engine, it's pretty small, but it works well in this deck, I think. And basically, it's just going to get Treeborn in the grave so that he's tribute fodder for your Monarchs and Synchro fodder for your Synchro plays. So yeah, the one Treeborn, yeah, if there's like people, banishing your Treeborn, you might want to side in another one. Then you got your Swap Frog and your Dupe Frog. Originally I was running 2 Dupe Frogs and 1 Treeborn, but then I realized why run 2 Dupe Frogs when you can run a Swap Frog and just normal summon them and instantly send Treeborn to the grave instead of waiting and then getting Treeborn to your hand. So Swap Frog, I think he'll give this deck a bit more speed and consistency. And then yeah, Dupe is still there to search out these two. And then even if you already have your Treeborn in the grave and you got these two still in your deck, you draw him, you summon him, you send Duprog so you don't have a dead card in your deck that you don't want to top deck at like a crucial moment when Duprog won't be necessary to have. So yeah, that's the Frog Engine. Like I said, pretty small, but it works. Next off, we have the Plant Engine. So there's the 1 Lone Fire Blossom, 1 Spore, 1 Dandelion, and then my favorite card of the Plant Engine, the Triple Cherry Mottos. Basically, he's a self-replacing level 2 tuner. He gets destroyed by battle. He special summons up to 2 from the deck. He's great. You can Synchro with him in a Monarch for your level 8 Synchro plays. The only thing that's bad is drawing 2 of him. That really sucks, but it doesn't happen often, so it's definitely going to be a card that I'm going to run in the deck for a long time. Oh, and also Debris Dragon, I guess you could say he's part of the Plant Engine. I mean, you use him to make your Synchro plays with your plants, so yeah, to him. Next off, we have the Monarchs. Triple Caius, anyone who's played Monarchs or Frogs or anything, you know Caius is the best one, basically. So yeah, 3 of him. 1 Raiza, I originally had 2, but then looking at how the format might be, I opted to put in a Mobius the Frost Monarch. He's not one who's widely used, but I think he's a pretty good tech card, especially without Heavy Storm. When he's summoned, tribute summoned, you can destroy up to 2 spell and trap cards your opponent controls. So yeah, I think he's going to be pretty vital to this deck in the new format, actually. Next off, you got the Fiends of the deck, I guess. I mean, they're just the Dark Fiends type monsters that synergize with the deck really well. So yeah, you got the double tour guide. I know tour guide's a pretty uncreative card. You just splash tour guide in a lot of things, but in this deck it's pretty essential because you need it to make your fortune tune. Your fortune tune will help you stall until you get your combo pieces. Then when fortune tune dies, you shuffle him and tour guides back, and then late game when you draw the tour guides, you make Levier, and when you make Levier in this deck to get back your banished stuff, you're basically pushing for game then. So tour guide, I know, pretty uncreative card. Not a lot of people like it just because how easy it is to use and how unskillful it is, but I mean, I definitely understand that, but this deck would be a lot weaker without it, and so So yeah, it's a card that's going to be in the deck. Next up, you got two Tragodia. I know there's proxies right now. Once I get the Tragodias in real life, they'll be swapped out. But yeah, Tragodia. Um, he's kind of like Gores in the sense where you can save yourself from getting OTK'd. If you have enough cards, he'll have a ton of attack, and then he has his Snatch Steal effect, and then he also has the level manipulation effect, and that's what he's really great for, the level manipulation. Especially, well, yeah, you just manipulate his level, and then you synchro summon with him if he doesn't have a ton of attack. But if he has a ton of attack, I mean, just keep him on the board and beat down your opponent with him. Tragodia, he's a great card, really. Last of the Fiends, one Gores. You don't run any back row that's going to be clogging up your field for more than a turn or two, so Gores, it's a pretty obvious choice for the deck. And also level 7, him or take the Gores token and take one of your level 1 tuners and make one of level 8 Synchro. It's pretty great. Next off, we have some just random monsters that kind of synergize with the deck really well and help you go for your synchro plays and help you kind of defend yourself. On the defense side, there's the double fader. I was running triple. Triple was it created too much stall and it was annoying for my opponent and myself, so that was no fun. But yeah, you protect yourself with him, and then he's tribute fodder for a Monarch, and he's synchro fodder if you need that. So Battle Fader, definitely great card in the deck. I was thinking Swift Scarecrow, but just because Battle Fader will be on the field and I can use him for something, I think he's better in this particular deck for that. But then there's definitely some decks where Swift Scarecrow would be better, but in this deck, Battle Fader's the better one. Next up, one Unknown Synchron. He has a Cyber Dragon effect. Basically, you can special summon him when you don't control a monster and your opponent does. He's a level 1 tuner. Just good stuff all around. Double Veiler. I'm really glad I was able to pick these up recently. They're really, really good. Well, I mean, I guess you already know that, but yeah. Negate your opponent's effects with it, and if you don't need to negate their effects with it, it's a level 1 tuner, so it's great. I did recently find out a really difficult problem with this card, though, is if your opponent is running Magician's Circle for some reason, like if they have a Spellcaster deck, and it basically forces you to summon this out in attack position, so that really sucked. I wasn't expecting that card. Fortunately, not a lot of people run it, but it's just kind of funny when you get Magicians circled and then you're forced to summon your Veiler. It's not fun, but it's just kind of funny when it happens. Anyway, got TG Striker. He just came off the ban list to 2. I am only running 1 right now. Depending on how he works out, I might switch him out with Unknown Synchron just because he has a similar effect. And he's the level 2, so it synergizes with the Monarchs a lot better. Because usually when you're making your level 7s, you're making those with Debris Dragon, and if you make like a level 7, if you make like a Black Rose with like a level 1 and a Monarch, then that just kind of makes it all the more work you have to go through to use Debris Dragon, because then he'll almost have to make a level 8, he'll have to make Scrap or Stardust. So I thought this was just a better card. Also, I was testing this out versus Plague Spreader Zombie, but with Zombie, yeah, I mean with Zombie, if you're not winning the game by summoning him and then synchroing with him, you're usually just minusing yourself by top decking that card, and then sometimes that can mean the difference. Like if you dead draw that one card, it can end up pretty bad for you. So Striker, he might go to 2 in the deck, just because he can, and he's a really amazing tuner. But for right now, just the one of them. Next up, we have the spells and traps. You got Mind's Control, Foolish Burial, and your 1-for-1. Basically, these are staples in any plant or synchro deck. Yeah, they're just really great power spells. If they were at well, they're all limited, but if any of them were at 2, I would definitely see myself running 2. So yeah. Next off, you got Scapegoat. With only 2 Battle Fader, Scapegoat is still really good because you can protect yourself, and then you have tokens to synchro with. I mean, you can't tribute them, but that doesn't matter. You got Treeborn for a tribute every turn. You got these for synchroing. It's pretty great. Also, the thing I was testing out, double Scapegoat since it went to 3, and then double Scapegoat with the triple Battle Faders. That's kind of the thing I was talking about, where it's just like too much stall and it's really slow. One of the games was lasting like half an hour. It was just no fun for me and my opponent. So yeah, taking out some of the stall aspect, I think it has enough between Fortune Tune, Battle Fader, and 1 Scapegoat. So 2 Scapegoats definitely a bit too much in my opinion. And then one of the funniest cards, I think, in the spell section, you got triple creature swap. Basically, I don't know. Sometimes I see creature swap as a bit of a troll card. You give them like a Treeborn in attack position. You take their best monster on the field. Well, I mean, they'll only give you their best monster if they only have that one to give you. Lance gets around this, but usually people don't expect creature swap and they use their Lance before they know that I'm actually running creature swap. And then when they can't lance their monster to protect it from a creature swap, and you attack into a Treeborn or a Battle Fader with it, they're going to take a ton of damage, and you have their monster to synchro or Xyz with, whatever you need to do with it. Or just keep it on the board if it's like a really good monster beater with a good effect. There's a lot of times where you can take your opponent's monster and use its effects to help you. Like if you take your opponent's Volval Chain, that's always really great because you can just use it to send stuff to your graveyard. As long as it has the materials, of course, but Creature Swap, definitely one of the funniest cards, and you can usually end a lot of games with this card too by just attacking for that last bit of damage into the Treeborn or something. Worked great. Double Space Typhoon, I was thinking about 3, but it didn't make sense to run 3 just because I have the Mobius the Frost Monarch in there now, so yeah. Dark Hole, basically the only staple spell they didn't take away from us, so figure it's still a good card, why not run it? Then you got your traps, 1 Mere Force, 1 Compulse, and 1 Torrential Tribute. Yeah, I mean, they're all great power traps. I would probably run another Compulse over the Torrential if Compulse was still unlimited, or even at 2, but can't, so no use worrying about it, just run the Torrential. So next we have the extra deck. Got Gachigan Tetsu. You make him with any of your frogs, well, Swap or Duke Frog, and so then like a Charian Mado, he can save you, boost up your attack. You got Fortune Tune and Levier. Like I said before, like usually in the beginning of game, you make him with Tour Guide. You stall till you get your stuff. You shuffle him back. Then late game, when you draw your Tour Guide, you make him, and you basically go for game there. Formula Synchron lets you draw a card when you summon him. He's a great synchro. You can make him almost all the time. Mistborg Colossus, one of the new cards from Judgment of Light, that works extremely well. He's also a Debris Dragon target, and he takes out Ophion. Armory Arm, you don't make him often, but when you do, you're going for game. TG Hyperlibrarian, still a great card. I don't normally synchro more than once or twice per turn, but if you're facing a deck like Dragoonides where they're going to be synchroing a ton and they have to synchro to get him off the field, you're going to be plussing a ton off them just going for their synchro plays. It's almost like dropping a Max C against them. Next, Catastor, another great level 5. He takes out a lot of problem cards. Ancient Fairy Dragon, you can make it with Debris Dragon, and 3000 defense can get rid of your opponent's field spells if they're running those. So yeah, that's great. Black Rose, Clout Ruler, Archfiend, Scroff Dragon, Crimson Blader, Stardust Dragon, then my favorite, Shooting Star Dragon. There's not a lot of games where you can make him, but when you make him, every game I've made him, I've won the game. So yeah, it works great. Thanks for watching, guys. If you could subscribe to Gokipon's channel, that'd be awesome. Yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.